It's scary to think of all the animals that get injured or killed when they try to cross roads or highways. The speed that cars drive at can be very dangerous. They're often side by side with wooded areas on highways, which could mean problems for animals if they're not careful. Recently, a bobcat got himself in quite the pickle, where he could have lost his own life. You won't believe the unbelievable trick that this bobcat was able to survive. It was a Thursday morning when a Virginia woman was driving her car to get to her destination. It was the morning of Thanksgiving and the woman was in a serious rush. She was in such a rush that she didn't realize she hit a bobcat on the road. The woman was driving in her Toyota Prius when she hit a bobcat that was walking across the road. However, she had absolutely no idea she had hit anything. She was in such a hurry that she could barely pay attention to anything else. The woman was heading off on a 50-mile trip to Richmond, Virginia. She proceeded on her hour-long trip and eventually parked the car. However, when she parked, she screamed from shock at what she discovered on the grill of her car. As the woman got out of her car and headed towards the front door, she was mesmerized by what she saw. The tall, male bobcat had lodged himself inside of her car's grill. Somehow the bobcat had managed to stay intact throughout the entire drive. Somehow throughout the 1-hour drive, the bobcat managed to survive. Richmond Animal Care and Control Director Christy Peters said that she received a text that day from an officer. It was a text that she never expected to get. It seems that the woman had called the police as soon as she realized what had happened. The police then knew they had to contact the experts at the Richmond Animal Care and Control. Peters immediately headed over to the area. Peters rushed over to the area to see what she was going to be dealing with. As soon as she got there, she saw the unbelievable sight. The poor bobcat was completely tangled up in the car grill and could barely move. We got on the scene and it really was true. It's really a bobcat stuck in the front of a Prius grill. RRCC Director Christy Peters said when we walked by he hissed at us. So, he is alive and maybe okay, which was so crazy since she drove from Chester to VCU. Peters knew that they would have to work on getting the bobcat out immediately.
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
The only way to do this, however, was to completely sedate the bobcat so that he wouldn't lunge out an attack. It only took 4 minutes before the bobcat was passed out, and as he started to go limp, he started to drop a little bit lower, Peter just explained. And really, in reality, the only thing holding him up was a wire. 2 is underbelly and 1 plastic piece under his ribcage. The 3 of them then began to move around the plastic parts of the grill. They wanted to avoid hurting the bobcat in the process. Eventually, after moving some things around, they were able to loosen the grill and remove it. As they pulled the wire, the bobcat then dropped onto the ground. Peters was blown away when she stepped in closer to take a look at the bobcat. He didn't seem to be seriously injured at all, and he was completely fine. Peters said, "It's insane." Peters continued to look over the bobcat to see if there were any injuries that she didn't notice. However, for the most part, he looked totally fine. The bobcat was then transported to an animal hospital so that he could be looked over by a veterinarian. It seems that the only injury that the bobcat had sustained was a scratch on his back. Talk about a lucky bobcat. The bobcat is currently being held at a wildlife center in Waynesboro, Virginia. He is currently being watched over to make sure he's doing well. Once everything is cleared, he'll be released back into the wild. It's pretty incredible that this bobcat was lucky enough to survive the entire 50-mile drive. The driver's identity has not been released in order to keep her anonymous. However, she's still pretty shocked that she was able to hit the bobcat accidentally and not notice. It seems that this bobcat got pretty lucky to walk away with just a minor scratch. Soon, he'll be released back into the wild and he can put this accident behind him. Hopefully, he won't be going near any busy streets again. With developmental activities such as the construction of roads, animals' habitats are lost and food that was previously available are now scarce. That is why they are compelled to come closer to human settlement for food. A similar situation occurred in September in Alberta, Canada, when a woman hit a coyote, according to WJW-TV. The woman, Georgie Knox, believed the animal was dead and continued her 20-mile journey to Calgary. After she arrived, she realized the coyote had survived the trek